It's a conversation like, hug a Knicks fan today. Coming off the loss to the Detroit Pistons last night, just put your arm around them because they've shown they cannot beat the best teams in the NBA. And I'm not saying that the Pistons are the same category as Oklahoma City, who they're 0-2 to, who against the Cleveland Cavaliers, they played a night. They're 0-3 to them. And then, of course, we saw they got swept by the Boston Celtics earlier this week, 0-4 against them this season. When has the bar been so low for New York basketball? Like, how are we continuing to do this? They've won 2 playoff series one time since 2000. The bar is on the ground. And if a championship coach like Michael Malone can get fired after 2 seasons, if Taylor Jenkins, the winningest coach in the history of the Memphis Grizzlies organization, can get fired with 11 games to go in the regular season, who's to say that Tom Thibodeau should feel safe by any stretch? They gave up 5 first-round picks for Mikal Bridges. And on that inbounds play against the Celtics the other night going to overtime, what happens? The ball bonks off his head. That is the summation of the Knicks in an absolute nutshell this year, and it's so frustrating to watch because this team swapped out Julius Randle for Karl Anthony Towns. We were told they were supposed to be so much better. For a stretch, we actually believed that they could because they...
Cái gì? Địch có tận 12 võ tướng mà toàn là đao thuẫn binh, điểm thủ cùng.
Get bounced from the first round of the playoffs by a Detroit team that's going to bring that physicality the same way that they did last night. Yes, I know that the Knicks were missing a couple of players. Those players should play tonight to be able to get that negative taste, that bad taste out of your mouth when you're playing Cleveland, to go into the postseason with a little bit of pride, because this team has just squandered all expectations when they were one of the darlings of the offseason last year. And it's frustrating. I feel bad for Knicks fans that you have to continuously go through this year after year after year thinking it's going to be different when it's not.
We've spent all this time talking about Tom Thibodeau, talking about Bridges. We haven't mentioned Karl Anthony Towns yet, which should bear a little bit of responsibility for what's going on with this Knicks team. This team goes as Karl Anthony Towns goes. And when you're looking at the best teams in the league in those games, Boston and Cleveland, he did not show up until this last time they played Boston. The only reason they had a shot was because he played big in those games. And this last game. Before then, he was averaging less than 20 points against the best teams in the league. Karl Anthony Towns was the guy who was brought into this Knicks team to get them over the hump and to the Eastern Conference Championship at the very least, and maybe a championship run. And what I saw and what I have seen against these aggressive bigs against Detroit, Karl Anthony Towns did not really come on until that fourth quarter. He's got to be the guy that has to be the difference maker in the playoffs for them to have a shot right now. We could talk about Tibbs and Bridges, but if Karl Anthony Towns does not go out there and give me 30 and 10, 30 and 15 on a given night in these crunch time performances, then the Knicks don't have a chance of going anywhere this season.
It's just so embarrassing that we talk about, like, I still bring up that Boston game from the other night. We talk about, but they showed signs of being competitive. Look how hard they played the Celtics. Like, that's where the bar is. You were competitive in a loss? Like, when you haven't beaten the team at all this season? Like, how is that a measure for success?
I agree. And I don't want to hear about the rumors of, the Knicks may go after Kevin Durant this offseason. I don't want to hear that. You got Karl Anthony Towns. You have Big Body Brunson, right? Jalen Brunson, who before he was injured, a guy that we possibly could say top 5 MVP conversation. He's their guy, but I don't know if he's fully healthy. So you're right, David. Karl Anthony Towns, he do have to elevate his game even more, right? They brought him in because they figured he was a better fit, better than Julius Randle. But I will say this. I will give Karl Anthony Towns the benefit of the doubt by saying this. Before Jalen Brunson went out, those two guys were one of the best pick-and-roll duos in the game of basketball. They just have to get their rhythm back. The problem is that they don't have time. They don't have time. So, yes, I have to put ownership on Tom Thibodeau. Here's another reason why. I've been begging and pleading all season long about Tom Thibodeau challenging Karl Anthony Towns defensively. Tom Thibodeau just might be the only coach in the NBA that still have his bigs in drop coverages. Cade Cunningham was feasting last night in the drop coverage. Jason Tatum, he feasts on Karl Anthony Towns in the drop coverage. At some point, you have to challenge him to switch pick and rolls and move his feet. I was challenged at one point in my career to switch out on a Tony Parker, a Manu Ginobili, throughout in the Western Conference Finals to defend. Karl Anthony Towns is way more athletic than me. Tom Thibodeau, get out of your ways. Challenge him. It's a new day. 2025. Bigs are switching, picking roles.
There may be a summer conversation of did the Knicks lean too far into the Nova Knicks. You could see it coming. Courtney asked for it, by the way. Russ, our resident Knicks fan, he wants a hug. He wants a hug.
Hug a Knicks fan today.
Hug a Knicks fan. That's Courtney's starting a trend. Hug a Knicks fan.
It's going to be okay. He's going to the game tonight. He's going to the game tonight. He's got to see OG Anunoby and Josh Hart and the rest of them play.
Russ has moved to tears. So was Luka in his return to Dallas. And someone here says he still may want to be in Dallas. That take is on the way.
I know how to make slick-looking goggles/glasses, but I have no idea how to make slick-looking social media stuff.
But GoDaddy Aero uses AI to create social content out of thin air, like this one. Walton Goggins goggle glasses are great gifts for all guys and gals.
Your local Ace is the largest national retailer